Hello, everyone. It's Shu, and I'm here to talk about how to stop living in your past. Um, I'm gonna give Facebook a few seconds here just to let people know that I'm here, um, so that you guys can join me. I hope everyone is doing okay. I am hopping on here from Central PA. So if you're watching live, if you let me know where you're joining us from, that would be great. We just had a few days here of snow, so the roads are still pretty icy, and I'm ready for summer. Um, I love my warm weather, that's for sure. Um, so yeah, if you don't know me, I'll introduce myself before I start talking about how to stop living in the past. Like I said, my name is Shu, and I am the founder of Grace and Hope Consulting. I am a board certified Christian counselor and a certified cognitive behavioral group therapist. And I'm also a disability consultant. So I do mental health and disability services. And a lot of people that I work with, I support, a lot of people that I encounter often struggle with this, with being stuck in the past. And sometimes they don't even realize that they are stuck in the past. So I wanted to just touch base on that because we cannot live or fully. They cannot live fulfilling lives. We cannot reach our full potential if we're stuck in the past. So that's why this topic is important. That's why I wanted to talk about it. So think about the goals that you have for your business. Think about the goals that your dreams that you have for your life, for your relationship, for your family, for your children, those things that you want to achieve in life. All those future goals, all those things are in the future where you're trying to head to. Think about those. I just want you, as you listen to me, think about those things. Keep those in the back of your mind. Don't let that slip away. Like, I want you to keep that in the back of your mind and think about it. Keep it just there, like in your mind as I'm talking, as you're listening to me. And I'm going to explain a little bit why that's important. Because what happened is we go through life, we experience life. That life, it's hard. I'm not going to take that. No, I'm not taking that lightly. We go through life, we experience challenges, we experience, sometimes, things that bring us trauma and grief and illnesses and separations and death. So there's a lot of things that happen in life that leave us feeling emotionally drained. That can, really, affect our mood, affect our how we see life. And those things, are often out of our control, the things that happen, and we just kind of have to deal with it. At least that's how we feel like it. Things happen, it's out of our control. And now we're kind of left to deal with the aftermath of it. How do I pick up myself and just move on when all of these things happen? That's often what I hear. And some people say, well, I'm not stuck in my past. My past happened. I think I'm okay. I, grieve my loss and I'm moving forward. But then you also see those people, every time they need to make a decision, they feel like there's fear that overcomes them. Or every time they try to decide about what to do next, they always refer to, or when I was there, or when X and Y and Z happen. So they might tell you that they're not stuck in the past, but the way they interact with you, the way they talk about the future goals or even the present life, is always colored through what happened in the past. So that's an indication that they are still stuck in the past. Okay. Some people, will bluntly just tell you, I don't know how to move forward. So if that's you, if you're stuck, if you're stuck in the past, I just want you to comment, put an S for being stuck. If you feel like grieve your past, but you find yourself talking about it a lot, still talking about your past a lot, although you're telling yourself and telling others that you're fine, you're past it, but you're still talking a lot about it through every conversation, through every decision you're trying to make, you still bring it up. I just want to put a T for talking about it. Okay. But again, don't forget those things I talked about earlier. Thinking about those future goals you have, those what you want to achieve in life, like keeping that talk in your mind as I'm going to talk tonight. Because you're going to see at the end, it all come, how that comes to play, having that in the back of your mind. So, why do we get stuck in the past? Like I said, because sometimes the pain is so deep that it takes more strength for us to heal from it. Sometimes the loss is just too great. The sacrifice you made that nobody saw, that nobody, acknowledged, all that you suffered for. And you still are holding on to that because it just still hurts. And it's okay to acknowledge that. So when I'm saying, stop living in your past, I'm not saying like dismiss everything that ever happened to you and just move like, nothing ever happened. That's not realistic either. Because if you don't remember where you came from, most likely you're going to repeat the same, mistakes maybe that led you to some things that happened, or you might be stuck in the same situations where you were and that you don't want to repeat. So there is a time and space and place for you to grieve those losses, to process what happened, but then you need to be able to turn that past, that painful past into a stepping stone, right? Don't let your past be a stumbling block that it stops you there, you freeze there, and you can't move past it. You can't move forward. Because the past is already gone. You can't change anything from it, right? All we can do is learn from it. So I want you to learn from your past. I want you to identify what went wrong, what you could have done differently. And if there's nothing you could have done differently to change the circumstances, well, how could you have taken better care of yourself through that time? Because sometimes, yes, things will happen that there's totally nothing you could have done differently, right? When someone passes away, there's, it's out of control most of the time. So, but there's still, maybe we could have allowed ourselves the time to grieve instead of stuffing the pain, and then the pain comes out at random times when we're not prepared to address it. Right. So often when people are stuck in the past or are having a hard time moving past the past, it's because they haven't given themselves enough time to deal with what happened, to process what happened. So the first step to moving beyond your past, to living a life and fulfilling life and overcoming all the obstacles and all the challenges that you experienced in the past. The number one secret I've found for myself and for people that I counsel, people that I counter, people that when I speak at conferences, the one thing that have worked is to give yourself time to process those losses, process what happened. Because it actually, just think about it and think about your own life. It actually takes more energy, more emotional energy to drain, to numb that pain. Like, I don't want to feel like that way. I'm not going to be mad. He's not going to take all my joy away from me. Yes, like you don't want people to take your joy and away from you. But at the same time, if you don't give yourself the time and the space to process that pain, process that anger, you're not going to be able to heal from it. So number one, give yourself time and space to process what happened. And if you give yourself that time and place to process it, make sure that you're not doing it alone. Healing happens in community. I'll say that again. Healing happens in community. You cannot heal from your past if you're hiding it under closed door. You cannot heal from your past if you're shoving it under the rug. You need to bring it to the surface in order face it and deal with it and have support in order to address that. And when I say face it and have support, I'm not saying that you should go talk to anybody and everyone. That's not healthy either. You need to find some safe people, safe places who know in order to unravel what happened and process what happened and see what lessons you can learn from it. So what are those safe people for you? Who's the safe person in your circle of support? Are the people around you safe for you to disclose how you're feeling, disclose your emotions to them? And sometimes you might have people who are safe and you can disclose your emotions to them, but they don't know how to support you. They don't have the tools and they're not equipped to do that. So you might need professional help. And it's okay to seek professional help. Often we think asking for help is a sign of weakness. No, asking for help is a sign of strength, because the person who asks for help is a person who identifies that they have taken themselves as far as they can. And to reach that next level, to reach that next step in their life, in the business, in the career, in their family, in the relationship, they need someone to walk that path with them. Someone else to, help them, walk on that journey. So if it's a counselor that you need, if it's a life coach that you need, if it's a mentor, please seek support. Healing happens in community. And sometimes maybe people need, maybe not professional, they need peer support. What does peer support look like? It looks like being part of a support group, maybe online, maybe in your community. There's a lot of support group now for people dealing with mental health challenges. There's support group for caregivers. There's support group for different chronic illnesses, or the support group for single parenting. There's support group for divorced people. There's also support groups. Oh, just do Google search, And if you're looking for even a faith-based, something that integrates your faith, there's a lot of faith-based support group that are out there. For people dealing with addiction, there's Celebrate Recovery. Google that and then look for, a community, a support group in your area. For single moms who are looking for a support group that are faith-based, again, look for Single and Parenting. It's actually a Bible study that I think it's 13 weeks that, churches offer. There's a curriculum, but it also brings, single parents together and they can support one another in a faith-based environment. Same thing for divorce. There's divorce care. If you're looking again for faith-based support system. So again, if you just Google that, you can get to like a national website, and then you put your zip code to search for a support group in your area. For mental health challenges, look for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Look for Mental Health America. Google all those in your area, and you're going to find, going to be able to find support groups in your area. And if you need help finding support in your area, if you're looking for support group for specific need that you have and you're having a hard time finding it, please reach out to me. I am going to put my information on here, so that I'm going to pin it when I'm done talking here, so that you guys can reach out to me if you have any questions afterwards, or if you need help finding resources. So just to kind of recap what I just shared earlier. So to move past, to stop living in your past, you have to first give yourself the time, the space to process what happened to you. And then you want to, find a support system, people who are going to encourage you on that journey, people who are going to support you and help you find the tools you need to heal. And then once you've done those 2 steps, the third steps then is, how do you turn that thing that was getting in your way, that past that was so painful, how do you turn that from a stumbling block to a stepping stone? So I'll share a little bit of my story. I became a board certified Christian counselor because when I struggled with depression and anxiety, I couldn't find a counselor who could integrate my faith and my mental health. I found great mental health counselors who were good at giving me mental health strategies. But what was most important to me, my number one value in my life is my faith, and they couldn't integrate with that with what I was trying to do. So they helped me with practical stuff, but I felt like my faith was not integrated in it, and that's a big part of who I am, and it made it hard for me to make progress because that piece was missing. Okay, and then I also met very good faithful people, and people of faith and Christians, in who are loving and knew the scriptures or giving me encouragement, but who lacked the mental health background, so who didn't know where I was coming from. And I needed someone who could integrate the two. I've seen good counselor who will say they're a Christian, that of their own personal life, but they didn't bring that Christianity, they didn't bring the faith into the counseling room with me. And again, that didn't help me make that progress that I was seeking. So I felt stuck. I went from being so depressed, I was so depressed to the point I was suicidal, and I actually spent a week in a psychiatric hospital, 11 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And that's my past, right? I can be stuck there and say, oh, that's where I'm a patient, I'm a mental health patient, I belong in institutions, right? I could be stuck there. Or I could say, I can do something about this. I sought the help that I needed. I kept searching until I found the help that I needed. I got better. I start turning my story into something else that could help someone else. Because the things that I needed in my mental health recovery wasn't readily available to me. I figured there's probably more people out there who cannot find a Christian counselor, someone who can integrate their faith and their mental health and help them give the tools that they need to achieve emotional wellness in a Christian-based environment. So I took that path. So yes, that place of pain, that place where I felt stuck and lost, and like I said, stuck in the mental health hospital for a week because I couldn't function in society. That's where my past was. That's where I came from. But today I have, a Christian counselor. I'm emotionally and mentally stable and supporting others on the path to recovery. I can't tell how many people that I work with who are able to go from being suicidal to living fulfilling life, because I bring not only my mental health, knowledge, everything that I learned, in my graduate program and certification program, but I bring that life experience as well. So I turn my stumbling block. What could have stopped me from there? I could just be stuck there and keep going through that same cycle of, just now moving ahead, right? Because I couldn't see myself, doing anything better than what I was being presented, in those places, right? But I knew I wanted something better. So what is that something better that you want in your life? Remember when I told you earlier to keep those thoughts in the back of your mind, like what you're want to achieve in life, what that next goal is, what that vision is for the future, what that one thing that you want to accomplish in your relationship and with your children, for your business, for yourself. What's that thing? I want you to think about it right now. Bring it to the forefront of your mind right now. Then the next question I want you to ask yourself is, what will it take for you to go from where you are now to getting there? What's missing? What's lacking? Okay, I'm pausing to give you some time to reflect on that. If you say, I don't know, I'm not sure what's missing, I just don't get there, maybe it is time to find someone to walk with you on that journey. And if you are like, I think this is what I need to get there, the next question I want you to think about is, what part of your past are you still dragging into your future? I'll say that again. What part of your past are you still dragging into your future? Is that past blocking you from your next step? So if you're going to bring your past into your future, it better be a past that either motivates you to change things. Like in my case with my mental health, that motivated me to be, to seek help and get well and be able to help others, right? So either the past you want to bring into your future, past experiences that motivate you to make a change, to be that change agent for someone else. Don't bring the past that is pain and hurt and abandonment and rejection. Take the time to heal from that. And then you can still use that after you've healed yourself, after you've taken care of yourself, then use that. Again, turn that stumbling block into a stepping stone. Who else can you help? Because if you look at major people who made a difference in this world in general, there are people who saw beyond their own needs, right? So maybe the pain that you're dragging from the past, yes, it was painful. Yes, it was hard. Yes, maybe it was really difficult to get past the experience. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe now you're a single parent. And now you're caring for your children by yourself. I'm a single mom of 3, so I totally get it. And there's pain that comes with that. But you have to heal yourself in order to be present for the people that matter for you. You cannot be fully present, emotionally present in your business, emotionally present in your relationship, emotionally present with your children, with your clients, with your friends, with your family members, if you are still dragging that emotional weight with you. So just think about the people around you. How is your past affecting your present relationships? Maybe you're a business owner and you tried to venture in the past and it didn't work out. And you're like, that's it. I'm not trying it again. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to even try something new. It's like, what's the point? I put so much effort into it and it didn't work out. Maybe that's where you are right now. Let's take a step back. Remember that first step I said, to move beyond your past? Process. So what happened? What was the experience like? What did you invest in that time, that energy, that you invested in? What went wrong? What could have been done differently? And maybe you need a third party, somebody coming, like a total outsider person, somebody coming from the outside and looking in. And that might help you, process that experience and pinpoint maybe some things that could have been done differently. And then try number 2. That said, so when you process, 2, you bring that support. So then bring that support so you can move forward. And then your third step is then turn that into a stepping stone. Now that you know what have you learned from the experience, and how can you use this to move forward? Okay, so to stop living in your past, you need to give yourself time to process. You need to have a support system, a support team that helps you on the journey to healing. And then you need to find the lessons that you learned from your past, from those painful experiences. Turn those lessons into something good. You have what it takes. You survive your past. Whatever it is that you dealt with, you survived it. And you're here now to you're live, and you're here, you're listening to this Facebook Live. You're still living life. As long as there's life, there's hope. So don't get stuck in the things that did not work. See the possibility. And one way to see the possibility is start reframing. Yes, that it didn't work last time, but last time I did this. Maybe this time I will do that. I'll change what I did, what didn't work. Maybe I'll get more support and do it along with someone else who had more experience, someone who has more tools and more strategies to help me. Okay? Life is worth living, my friend. And you only get one chance at it. Don't waste your future because of what happened to you yesterday. And I'm going to take just a few seconds here to talk to some of my friends who might be listening to this, who are dealing with some trauma, some abuse. It hurts, and it's wrong. It's not fair. You did not deserve to be treated that way. But you can heal from that, and you can still have a fulfilling life and fulfill relationships in the future. You have to want it. So how about that thing that you have in the back of your mind that you want to achieve in life? Those hopes and dreams that you have in your mind right now. How bad do you want it? Is the pain of healing, because healing is a process. It takes unraveling all that pain from the past and processing all of that and being able to look at all the yuck that is in order to get to the healing place, the healing spot. But if you think of what you're trying to achieve in the future, is it not worth it? That future life that you want to create for yourself, that joy, that fulfillment, that peace, the abundance that you're seeking right now, is it not worth you healing from your past? I believe it's worth it. For me, it was worth it. 10 years ago, like I said, I was suicidal. I was done with life. And today, I can't wait to take my next breath every single morning because I learned how to turn my stumbling blocks into a stepping stone. And I get up every single day because now I have a purpose in life to help someone else, to give someone else hope to live for a better future. Don't waste your future because of your past. The past is gone. Seek help if you need it. I'm available to talk with you more. But please do yourself a favor. The world needs you. The world needs you. You have so much to bring to the table. Your gifts and talent are there. The world is waiting to see you, to see what you can bring to the table. It's all there in you. But you can't manifest your greatness. You can't manifest your genius if you're stuck living in the wounds of the past. So take the time to heal. Seek help if you need it. All right, friends. That's all for now. I'm going to type here my my contact info, and that way you guys can reach out to me if you need to connect with me.